Hello lovelies, welcome back to my YouTube channel for those who have seen this before, and a very warm welcome to those who are new. Today's pick a card reading is timeless, so there's 4 groups to choose from, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Once you know your group number, then go down to the timestamp below and click on it and it will take you directly to your reading. Please remember too that you do have free choice and free will, and that Spirit and I are offering you what we see if you stay in vibrational alignment, but you can change your outcomes. It's not set in concrete, as of course, because we all have free choice and free will. Please enjoy your reading and I shall see you shortly. Group number 1. We have the Queen of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, 9 of Wands, Knight of Wands, 8 of Swords, Death and Rebirth, and 9 of Pentacles. And this looks like an amazing spread here where I feel like you're building your wealth, from either a space of where it's your own dwelling, like your own home, and accumulating wealth that way. You're totally transforming and rebirthing your life in terms of building and how you have your security set up here. It feels like you're not worrying about, say, the past avenues in the past. It feels like however you've done this, I feel like by allowing the natural endings to come in, you'll transform what you're going to do, and it'll transition you into an area of where I feel like it can generate a lot of wealth for you. This is something probably that is new, because it feels like there's that little bit of a tiny little bit of a struggle here. And this is only in the thought area of thinking this is new and how it's going to go. But it feels like it will actually work quite well. You're really connecting with your passions here. And I really feel like you're actually stepping into your personal power more here. And I feel like there's a whole new array of people coming into your life that I think that you'll connect with that you didn't possibly think that you would in the past. I see you building the wealth here on, when I say on your own, it feels like it's because it's your own achievements, but I do feel like you could also collaborate with people. So it's like an idea that you have, or you're finding your own take, or putting your own spin on what you do, and you're building your wealth in that way. The more passionate you get with it, the more it feels like you're bringing everything into alignment and rebirthing it in a way of where it can lead to the success here as well. The only thing is that I feel like sometimes if you have like little wobbles here, it's just to still try to stay in alignment and not allow the wobble to become a big wobble where you're overthinking something here, where it feels like then it sort of stunts the growth and prevents you from moving forward a little until you turn it around and then naturally let things go, which what doesn't serve your growth. It feels like however you've done things in the past, I feel like with the 6 of Cups here, feels like you're actually making some really big changes, and you're actually letting the past go to allow the new to come in. So whether or not you've been successful in the past and you're needing to make this change for your growth, or you're stepping fully into your power, personal power here, it feels like you can transition this in a really go with the flow and ease, through ease and joy, if you just stay sort of grounded and connected as well. I feel like everything has equipped you for this change. I feel like you've got this. I feel like you need to just believe in yourself a little more, because I feel like the results are coming in, and I feel like you'll be surprised with what you do, and have those results come in a way of where you might be even surprised with what you can do, because it'll open up more opportunities here for you, which will inevitably actually bring, as I said, quite a lot of success here for you. And I feel like whatever you're doing, you're really transitioning and transforming many parts of your life here to be able to step into your personal power here. I am going to get some more advice on these beautiful cards. I'm going to see. There's a couple that fell out. So it's saying just trust your talents in these changing times, which is actually really coinciding with you've already had, I feel, the success here. So it feels like just trust your talents, because although the death card is saying that there's change coming in, it's actually trying to give you something more substantial that's going to be longer lasting and success here. So that's actually quite a nice card to have. And for those, I feel, souls that are sort of setting up their own business or something, it just says here, harness your mystic power. And I actually feel like they're saying on some level, trust your intuition, trust your gut here as well. And you've got the High Priest as well. So that's intend and create. So I feel like a lot of you are going to be creating a lot of changes and really being quite happy with it. You've got grow within your current situation. So this is all going to be a learning curve. But as I feel like you're journeying, it feels like it's also, with the learning curve, it feels like you're getting the wisdom, what I say, really quickly, and moving forward with it, because it feels like when you're in alignment, it feels like things that you're learning, it doesn't feel like it's hard or slow. It feels like if there's a situation that needs a solution, it feels like you're figuring things out and you're finding it, and it's actually helping you stay grounded and connected, because I feel like this is saying you're the boss here, you're the boss. It feels like you'll be responsible for everything of what you're doing with your work, but it also feels like while you're doing that, it's like there's this learning curve that equips you to have a better grasp and a handle and understanding of feeling like you're in control as well, which feels really exciting. I'm just going to get, oops, like that. Some here. I'm just going to pull one out. Union. So I feel like I'm going to say, I mentioned before, collaborations as well. And I feel like through the collaborations, have sort of sacred or special unions and connections with people here as well. And you've also, it brings in a lot of new beginnings. And I actually think you've never really tapped into your full potential. And this is by rebirthing what has once been is now actually going to be really putting you into a position of where you'll really surprise yourself of what you can do, and everything comes into alignment here. It feels exciting. The only thing I would say is that when you have a little wobble here, remember it's as big or as little as you make it. It might only be a concern or a fear, and it may not have even happened yet. So it just feels like the lessons here is not to maybe give it energy in that way. And I feel like you're really learning how to handle the wisdom of maybe if we've had like a hiccup or a little wobble somewhere, it feels like it's not going to put you on a path of where you feel like nothing is going to work. It feels like it just makes you more determined to work through things and to get things done and to find solutions. You're finding like new ways of for say situations that maybe need some sort of like working out or nutting out here. So it feels like you're growing and evolving with it, but it also feels like the more you grow and evolve, the more you start to step into your power, the more confident you become, which is really beautiful. Here, let's have a look. Let's some more here. Yeah, you'll be learning to cut your ties. Ask Archangel Michael to clear the old attachments of fear that stern you from the past relationships, fencing you in from destructive patterns. So that's a little bit like what I'm feeling with the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Wands. So, and I feel like because you're sort of pioneering with something here, a lot of people may not understand, or if there's been, you may not get the support from the people from the past if they don't understand your vibration of where you're going, because you're rebirthing your life. It feels like you're not the same person as maybe what you were back, say 5 or 6 years ago, or 10 years ago, because you're actually transforming your life here, and you're becoming who your authentic, more and more your authentic self, or sort of upgrading the best version of you and stepping into your power. So I feel like it's saying let go. Here with the death card here, it's saying just let go, cut the ties, let go of anything that no longer serves your growth, that's stopping you from being the best version of you, because you've got this. I actually feel like group number one are going to be really supportive and help people, and they're going to find there's something a little, they'll find their niche, which they'll put their own spin on it, and it'll be quite successful. I think they're in an industry where it might be a little bit, sometimes where a lot of people might be doing something similar, but they're finding their own spin that makes them unique on some level, because they do think of things in ways of how to connect as well. Let's have a look. Okay, I feel like for group number one, you are a light worker and have come to earth to teach about love. So I feel like group number one, as more you step into your power, the more you'll find your voice. And I feel like it's through your unique gifts of helping and caring and looking at it from a way of where I feel you'll be led intuitively, or where your higher self will want to lead you to, that will actually help you sort of help others on some level. I feel like you're going to be inspiring others too. I definitely feel like for group number one, music might be a really beautiful trigger for you in terms of bringing you gently back into alignment when we feel like we're sort of feeling that discord or frustration, or something feels too hard here as well. So I feel like you're saying goodbye, you're letting go of a habit here, and you're saying goodbye, say, to the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Swords, about how you manage things. And I think what that maybe not have served you growth in the past, because it's the old you. It's like I feel like you're managing your life so differently now, and it feels like it's giving you the opportunity in the times that are changing for you to grow and evolve and to really, really, really be the best version of you. And I think that there's a lot of hidden talent here with group number one that's going to emerge once you actually allow the death and the rebirth to come in, because you're really rebirthing your life and transforming it to some degree. And I kind of feel like there could be a few healers here, people who might be in the creative arts, people that might be sort of intuitively working, there could be metaphysicians. It just feels like they've got that sort of vibration of where they're going to be reaching people as well. It could be people who read. It just feels like you've got, you're transforming your life on some level where it feels you're really stepping into your power here. And I feel like you're letting go of what doesn't serve your growth. And as I said, if you have a situation here that comes up that might be a bit of a hurdle, it's like I feel like you've learnt from the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Swords that you don't go into that past sort of vibration here. You're actually transforming that. You're letting a habit go or a trigger go that you no longer feel like serves your growth here. I'm going to say too, you have a lot of love and ancestors around you here in spirit, giving you a lot of beautiful guidance. Please open up to be receptive to the help and the guidance. We need to give them permission to help, to guide us on that, because I feel like they're trying to help as well. That's what I have for you, group number one. Sending you lots of hugs. Hello, group number two. Welcome back. We have the Four of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, Four of Swords, Six of Wands, the Star, Page of Pentacles, and the Strength card. I get this sense with group number two is that they're wanting to focus on maybe their health and well-being, and that they're sorting something out with being healthy and doing the right exercise and creating balance in their life here, it says, and trying to have a foundation or a structure in their life where I feel like where the first time they get up in the morning and they feel like they're setting the tone of the day of, finding some gratitude and being more disciplined with something here that they want. I see them doing some meditations or trying to manifest the life that they want. And that they're just in the throes of getting themselves, I think, sorted. They don't want to be sort of overwhelmed, or they've, in the past, if it's like they're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, they're just sort of moving forward. Meditation, it does come up here, could be quite significant and helpful, or other mindful activities here, it says. And I actually feel like they're trying to be victorious over something that has annoyed them, felt like it's been like a setback for them in their life, and it feels like whatever it is here, it kind of feels like you're becoming victorious over something, that you're getting a better handle on something here, that's actually going to help you then stabilize like what you want to do with your dreams here, and your goals. I see group number 2 maybe doing some learning of some description. Now, learning doesn't necessarily always have to be in the school sense. I mean, in the traditional school sense, it might mean that for some, because it is a general collective reading. But for other people, it might be that they're researching, or sort of, it could be some sort of spiritual learning, but it feels like there's some type of learning here that they're doing, whether or not they're doing it themselves and researching it, or whether it's that sort of formal type here, or some sort of study here. But it feels like it helps, whatever it does, it gives them confidence, and it brings them into alignment with what they really want to do. I'm going to say, I feel like for group number 2, they may have an interest in health and well-being, or health and well-being on some level, but they're finding their own self first and connecting to their internal like strength, or their inner strength here. It feels like they've got a lot of goals and dreams, but it feels like what's happened in the past is that there could have been maybe some delays or postponements, which made it a little bit overwhelming. Group number 2 feels like they give a lot to people, so they just need to be mindful of, it's great to give, but we do need a little bit of balance with it as well, because sometimes that can be it becomes a bit taxing, and then we can get a little bit overwhelmed if we feel like we're sort of not able to give the way that we want, if we're getting tired, or if we're getting overwhelmed, or it feels like, that no one's listening to you when you need that support. So it just kind of I get that sense here with group number 3, is that they're feeling the magic in life again, and they're learning to manage or handle something that has either restricted them on some level to some degree, and it feels like once they feel like they've got a handle on it, they start to become very, very victorious, and they start to feel that they're bringing their goals into fruition here, because the beautiful star is saying that there's a lot of hope here. There's a lot of potential here as well. But it feels like for some of those, they might be feeling like they've taken 10 steps forward to go 4 back or something. But it feels like if they're going back to some sort of what they consider basics here, it's actually going to help them build that stronger foundation, I would say here, for something longer lasting as well. For group number 2, don't forget to connect to some fun and joy. There might be some creative avenues here for group number 2 as well. But I feel like once they get there, once they work through what they need to work through here, in terms of if they haven't had the foundation that they've needed, or the discipline, or they've had a setback here on some level, it feels like once they learn how to manage something in their life that has tripped them up a little bit here, I really feel like there's this opportunities will start to go. It puts you onto your soul purpose on some level here, with this soul tribe, which is really nice. So let's have a look. I think group number 2 needs some reflection time sometimes as well, or some time out from if they're sort of supporting others or being the strong one. They just need that time out, but they also need to reconnect as well. They need that balance here, it says, between catching up with people, or socializing, or giving to people, but also having some time out for themselves as well. Yep, you're definitely shedding your old skin. So I feel like whatever is transpiring at the moment, it's like you're letting go of something that I felt like has either tripped you up, or been a concern, and it feels like you're managing something here where you're feeling like you're more in control of your life and in charge of your own destiny. Block the magic within. I actually wonder if group number 2 people are a little bit witchy woo-woo. And what I mean by that is that I see these 2 cards sometimes. It's like, feeling that magic in life, and there might be something there that they enjoy doing with either rituals, or putting some sort of like intentions in place there on some level. It feels really nice. It feels like they're feeling like they're grounding the more that they go into the 4 vibration here, which is like finding that foundation that sort of firmly roots your intentions and your goals and anchors you. It feels like then you can build on your goals, but the foundation actually comes from within yourself first, and then it expands externally, where you get the opportunities. But we've got to find that anchor within ourselves here, it feels. And I feel like you're doing that because you're actually getting a handle here. As I said, you're feeling a little bit victorious here as well. It's something about manifesting here with group number 2. They want to manifest life. They're stuck with their life. And it feels like they're connecting to something universally here as well, which is nice. And there's a little bit of that magic, you know, witchy woo-woo rituals. Okay, I'm going to do that one in a sec. I'm going to go back to this. Sorry. Got a bit ahead of myself. And just see what this one comes up with. Yep. For some reason, I feel like group number 2 also want to learn how to express themselves in a really healthy, joyful, playful, creative way as well. Like, I feel like it feels like they're sensitive, but they're also really strong when I say that as well. So they're finding healthy ways of maybe expressing how they feel. That could even be something a little bit to do with the boundaries here, with the 6 of Pentacles here, and feeling good about it. And that gives them more confidence as well, which feels good. Let's have a look. There's something very creative with group number 2 as well. Like this, all this amazing creativity that's going to just come out. There's something to do with their chakras, something to do with maybe doing meditations or clearing chakras or working on chakras that intuitively comes up here. Let's see. Oh, we've got a few, so let's have a look. Kindred spirit. So I actually feel like you're literally wanting to find your soul tribe by connecting to your passions here, which I feel like you will. And it feels really, really lovely. It feels like there's a lot of support to come in here for you as well. Something that I feel like in the past, maybe you've either given a lot of support or you haven't had the energy to give the support. But here it feels like you're feeling more vibrant. You feel like you're on the right path, and you've definitely got vitality and energy and sort of like connecting to things here that you want to do as well. And I feel like expression also feels like you like to feel like you've got great listening skills, but I also feel like you also like to feel heard as well. So you may be addressing something with a friend or family member or something about that sometimes you need to feel like you're being heard here. And that's all part of, you know, working, expressing yourself, and yeah, feeling good that you've been able to do that and not feeling restricted. I'm going to pull one more out to go for the other time. Yeah, I think for group number 2 is that when they want to do something, it's like it feels like in the past what might have tripped them up, they get a bit overwhelmed or they expect everything to happen all at once. And this is just saying is that to go with the flow a little more. Once you manage whatever it is that is stopping, that there's been that hurdle with, that you're trying to let go of that habit on, it feels here that, and when you become victorious, it feels like you then start to realize that you can flow more in your life, or you've got more trust within yourself, which means you're inevitably also trusting the universe, and that's what the universe will pick up on as well. You're definitely manifesting something in your life here, or trying to manifest things differently here, and connecting to something that's very deep, very spiritual, that makes you feel like you're part of your kindred soul tribe here on some level here, which feels really beautiful. Let's have a look at what the goddess one was. Goddess. Yeah, express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. That's how I see you, group number 2, as well. So maybe it's if you possibly can get out in nature, or if you've got, even if you've got a balcony with some pot plants on it, is to just sort of do it that way. If you are in lockdown, or if not, get into nature. Another option would be is maybe try on YouTube or something and get some download some beautiful music, or listen to some beautiful like nurturing sounds, and connect to your breathing here and meditate, because I feel like there's a way for you to express your divine energy, but we're just trying to set the intentions so that you can flow more with it and be more receptive to it as well. I feel like you're stepping in. There's something very feminine with group number 2's energy too, and that sort of reminds me a little bit of like, you know, like the healers and that of the universe and of our planet and that. So there's something very nurturing and healing here with group number 2 that I like, that I feel like is a really important connection here with sharing your gifts, because there's a lot of gifts here that you've got, which I think that you may have started to do something and then had to stop, and now you're reconnecting to your passions again as well. Yeah, for group number 2, because I feel like there's sensitive souls, and that it might be saying fresh organic foods and vegetables, and that give a boost of high life force energy, which elevates your spiritual frequency. I did say too that I felt like group number 2 were kind of trying to manifest stuff in their life, which is really great. They're consciously aware of what they're doing and where their thoughts are, and they're trying to clear the pathway so that they can manifest what they like. And I actually feel like you will, because I feel like you're becoming super conscious of how you sort of treat your body, like you're trying to treat your body like a temple. I feel like there's that interest in health and well-being here that will come in to play, that you're getting yourself sorted and creating the balance that you need in your life so that you can actually move forward in your life and follow your passions and your desires here, which feels will lead you to success, because there's a really a lot of beautiful people coming into your life that I feel will be really helpful and like-minded here, which feels really exciting as well. All the best, group number 2, and sending you lots of hugs. Come back, group number 3, we have the 3 of Pentacles, the Tower upside down, the Devil card upside down, Justice upright, the Hierophant, 3 of Swords inverted or upside down, 5 of Swords, the Chariot, and 8 of Wands upright. Well, for group number 3, I feel like when the Tower comes in, it's always usually a little sign or an indication of us needing to restructure something in our life that's not in alignment with our vibration, and that the universe is trying to give us something greater or better, but we need to restructure something first in order for that to happen, to have a stronger foundation with something in life here. It feels like group number 3 are wanting to, I'm going to say, move on, leave, or move from a situation that is no longer maybe working out for them in a way that they would like. And they're also trying to, break free from anything that's sort of like been toxic in their life, which I feel like they are moving forward with. I feel like they feel on some level that they may be a little lost at the moment, and they're just restructuring and bringing in some sort of order, it feels, in their life here, I feel, to regain some sort of balance here as well. It feels like they're learning there's been massive learning curves here and massive learning opportunities here, and I feel like with the right support, they'll put themselves back on the path here. It just feels like they may have, sometimes we feel like we go through phases in our life when we feel like it's just been one thing after another, and it just feels like you're just now having this opportunity to completely review and look at your life and let go of really what doesn't serve your growth and what has been toxic or not for your highest good, and you're like learning to move forward here. It feels like there's been something that feels like it's been considered, maybe you consider it unfair, that has transpired here, and there's been a disappointment, but you're actually moving forward with that, and you'll actually see, I feel like on some level, that if this hadn't occurred, I feel like this opportunity here wouldn't be able to present itself. It feels like for group number 3, they feel like maybe their options have been limited with the type of lifestyle, but it feels like you're working through that and looking at different opportunities to come in. It feels like it feels like you're already actually doing that. It just feels like it's been something that's transpired, has not worked in the way that you would really like to, and you're just sort of putting the steps into place now to, as I said, regain that sort of balance and that too. So just remember that I know that we can't always be positive and upbeat all the time, but we do need to honour our feelings and that too. But it might be that you're learning to find healthy ways of actually expressing your feelings as well. With the Justice there, it feels like there could have been something that you've considered that's been unfair that's happened, that's caused a little bit of like this disappointment around the heart area here. The heart being the energy frequency of the heart. So within a relationship or a friendship or something that has like happened that was sort of not within your, what feels like was in your control, but something that was a bit unfair, and you're working through that and you're trying to sort of find your way, which I feel you will, because you've got the Eight of Wands here. So I'm going to say that there is going to be support and help to come in, but it may be that you need to find a different way of reaching out as well. Let's just see. It just feels like for group number 3, they no longer want this pattern or situation to keep happening, and they're figuring out ways of moving forward from things in their life that are non-toxic as well. Yeah, be brave and strong. So I feel like on some level here that your strength is being tested a little bit, and you're a lot stronger than what you think. Let's have a look. That fell out, so let's have a look. Yeah, retreat and recharge. So for some of you, you may be looking at boosting your energies by charging your batteries, so to speak, and by being kind to yourself. There's something a little bit about group number 3 just needing to be a little kinder to themselves and not to beat themselves up if there's been mistakes made. We're all human. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be judgmental on yourself. Be kind to yourself. I feel like you're trying to work through that. You will be moving forward here, but it just feels like there's a little bit of this to go, like that you're letting go of and managing here, and I feel like there's going to be some opportunities for you to transform something in your life here once there's no resistance here. So I feel like you've had to throw the shackles off here and let go of what doesn't serve your growth here, in terms of if there's been anything toxic in your life. And once you do, it feels like you'll be able to move forward rapidly, because the Eight of Wands is a rapid vibration. It's there's lots of opportunities and that can come from that. It just feels like you're just smack bang right in the middle of transitioning your life and what really needs to be transformed and healed here, so you can move forward, which is exciting. It's a great opportunity, because then I feel like the new you emerges and you become the better version of yourself here. It feels like you need to set your sights higher. I feel like sometimes group number 3 might just take something because they feel like they have to take something, rather than expect the best as well. There's a nice affirmation, expect the best now, and I expect the best now and in my future as well. Yep, you are transforming and unveiling a lot of your gifts. So whatever is transpiring here is temporary, and it feels like there'll be rapid movement and you will be able to move forward in the right direction. It just feels like you're just something that just nurturing this, letting go of something that hasn't worked with a disappointment, whether it's business or work or pleasure or family or something that you were not in control of. And I feel like once you feel like you're regaining control of your life again, it feels like you're setting your sights a lot higher and you're sort of valuing yourself more, it says here, and feeling more worthy of being able to receive a lifestyle that you feel that it's deserving of what you'd like. So let's have a look. Awakening. So a lot of you are having some sort of spiritual awakening here, that's going to put you back on the path, which is exciting. And then you've got choices in how you live your life and what you want to do with your life here, which is exciting again, because it feels like there's options to come in here for you, but there's just this little shift here I feel like you're making as well. I feel like you're learning to love yourself, group number 3, so that you can create, I think, more joy and upliftment and following your heart and realizing that you're worthy of receiving good things in your life, definitely. Let's have a look. I'm going to do 2 more here. Yeah, I feel like there's that feeling of that the universe has your back as well, which is exciting. It just may not feel like that now, but I feel like when you shift things in a different space, and I feel like you're making what you consider better choices in that here, and choices that you feel like are more in alignment with who you are and what you want to do and be. It feels like you'll start to feel like the trust is back there again, that you can trust the universe has got your back, and that you're equipped to know how to manage disappointments and not feel like you're sort of spiraling down again here, or feeling frustrated here. Yep, and I feel like love will then be I feel like then you learn to love again. So when you learn to love yourself again, it feels like then love comes into your life as well. So that's really, really exciting. Beautiful. For group number 3, it says express yourself and awaken your psychic sense through your magical power of music and movement. So for group number 3, I feel like there's a lot of those gifts in that haven't been harnessed yet, because there's been these little blocks here, and maybe it's been stopping you from tapping into, say, these gifts in that. So I feel like music, dancing, even if it's just putting some music on while you're cooking and having a bit of fun and a bit of a giggle, always works well with the universe as well. Connecting to that joy, very important in helping you, keep your vibration high, but also helps with manifesting what you like in your life as well. Let's have a look. I've got 3 that fell out. I actually think that something could have been like a very big karmatic lesson that transpires in this first line that I feel like is connected to your past life. And it says here, the situation is the basis of your previous lifetimes. Ask your angels to help and remember, release, learn, and heal from your past experiences. So this feels like you've had a major, big lesson here that's been connected to a past life that you've come into this life with, trying to work through here as well. It also feels here that group number 3, twin flame, the answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. So I did feel like the 3 of Swords came out, that some of you might have been a little bit disappointed in love, or there might have been a disappointment here as well. Some of them, it could be business, but others I felt love, because it's a general reading. And I feel like once you start the healing process and you step into your power, this lesson is learned. It feels like it sets you up to, if you're not already met your special significant other, I feel like you will meet your significant other here, it feels. And if you have met them, then it just feels like there's a strengthening of a relationship, or meeting the right one if you're single. So it feels like you've got what feels impossible now, I feel like will be possible once you actually get the wisdom of this past life situation here. It just feels like it's a massive one. It could be somehow connected to relationships, family, or something to do with disappointments, or feeling like that there was something sort of unjust or unfair, and you're working through that. And I feel like once you do, I kind of feel like you have this amazing awakening of who you really are, and you start to feel stronger within yourself. I don't think you're going to know yourself, really. I feel like you've got this, you step into who you are and who you're meant to be. And I feel like there's a lot of love to come into your life here. That's what I have for you, group number 3. Sending you lots and lots of hugs. Welcome back, group number 4. We have the Knight of Cups, the Hermit, Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords, the Lovers, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Cups, 2 of Cups, and Queen of Wands. We've got the Knight of Cups here, and it feels like there's going to be invitations and offers coming in after a period of what I would say where the Hermit comes in, where we may have had a bit of an introspection period or time for ourselves. It feels like things will get quite busy here for you, and almost like I feel like you're in a rush. There's a rush here to do things, or that it gets so busy for you after that reflection time or quiet time, which is actually really great, because it's actually helped you reflect on what you want to do with your life and how you want things done, and it's given you the opportunity to breathe and to sort of think things through more carefully. And then I feel like you get very, very busy here. There's lots of people coming in here. It feels like you've got a really great intellect, but also there's a really creative side, and I feel like you're trying to balance the two here as well. There's changes coming in, I would say, around the career here for you, and I feel like there's a choice here as well for group number 4 in terms of a relationship here as well. It just feels for group number 4 that their other halves, or their better their other halves, meaning their relationship, if for those who have got a connection with someone, it feels like they've either had separation, but it might be because it's geographical, or just that they had to do whatever they had to do and they weren't sort of in your world at that time, but they're coming back. I don't think it's separation in that you had a breakup. It just feels like they might have been in another state, or they've had to fulfill some sort of obligation here, and they're coming back into your life that way as well, or that they filled the obligation and now they're coming back to start a life. But it feels like there's a lot of love here for group number 4, a lot of drive and passion, and actually I'm going to say a lot of collaborations here, that group number 4 will collaborate successfully here with people. There seems to be quite a few people here in the group for group number 4 as well. So I feel like it's almost like destiny spinning its wheel, and it's like you've spun the wheel and you're watching it spin, and then it lands somewhere where it feels like it takes you to, I'm going to say, like almost like a higher level of consciousness here. It feels like you're setting your sights high, and you're working on a level of where I feel like you're not allowing anyone to sort of step on your toes, or you're not giving it energy. You're just moving forward at a rapid pace in terms of where you want to go with your life. And it feels exciting because it feels like you've got passion, desire, goals, dreams, and with like a really great attitude towards life, a very uplifting, very positive attitude here, which I feel will hold you in good stead for where I feel like you want to go with connecting with people, because there's something about connecting to a lot of people here that come in and out of your life really rapidly, or see what you do. There's a little bit of arty, like a little bit of an arty side here, I feel, or a bit of a creative side, but I still feel like they also know how to use their intellect here, it feels too. So I feel like there's going to be changes that will come in to your life because of the Wheel of Fortune. It feels like it's positive change that will come in, and it's like igniting the passion of a goal, a dream, a desire here that I feel like will definitely come into fruition. And I feel like for some of those, it's like deepening connection with love as well, like a really strong, deep connection. I love the fact that whatever you do with your work, I feel like you'll end up collaborating or working in cooperation with others here, it feels. Let's have a look. If anything, with group number 4, I think you've got a lot of options coming in because you've got the choice here next to the Wheel of Fortune. But I feel like you're following your heart, because this is like the Ace of Cups is always about new beginnings transpiring, but it's also kind of feels like you're passionate, and there's sort of that heart element with it, being a cup. And it feels like it's the path for you. You follow, you know the right path to take here. Feels like if you've been in that sort of using your intellect and that you want to balance it out and create more joy here, it says. But I feel like this change will come in, and I don't think you'll look back. I think you're going to be very happy with it. I think Teddy's just about to make an appearance. Teddy. Oh, let's have a look. No, he jumped down. Let's have a look. Yeah, I feel like your new passions, it says here to stay devoted and committed to what you want to do with your goals and your dreams, because it feels like it's actually going to really start to transpire really quickly. When you're following your heart, I feel like everything will happen really, really quickly for you. And it says here, trust in the unknown, because it feels like there's going to be things that you haven't done before because you're making these changes. But I feel for some reason when everything feels in alignment, it just feels like it flows for you. I feel like you've got a very good attitude towards life, group number 4. And I feel like you just sort of it just flows in a way. I feel like you've already, I'm going to say, like, I feel like you've already got a handle on this. And it's just sort of waiting for the results that you're putting in to come in. Like, I feel like you have this sort of faith and trust, and it's like you kind of assume it's going to work out and expect it, and it just feels like things sort of, you tend to land on your feet. That's what I'm trying to say, more landing on your feet with things. I feel like for group number 4, there might be unions, something that for those that with a person, it feels like they're sort of like meeting, you've met their soulmate, and there's that sort of sacred union, like a marriage or living together, that sort of thing, or having a baby. And for those who are single, it feels like through your new passions and that, I feel like you meet your significant other that you'll have like quite a beautiful deep connection with in love. And it just fell out, so let me just grab it. Yep. If anything, I feel like because people are very drawn to you, you may just need to have a little bit of like boundaries and that sort of thing. But it also feels like now in the past, with here, I feel like maybe there was that feeling of a little bit of being guarded and not being as open. But I feel like once you're following your heart and your heart space and you connect more to your heart, it kind of feels like, here it says that you'll drop your shield, maybe in the past where you might have felt like you needed to be a little bit more protective of yourself here. But here it feels like you're fully in alignment and trusting the universe, and things just start to flow really beautifully for you here. I'm going to get one more. It feels like that's connected to the past because you're actually bringing this in where it feels like you don't have to feel guarded anymore. Yep, you're definitely going to be basking in the joy and the light of what you're manifesting and creating here, because it feels like you're really finding your passions and your desires and bringing everything sort of coming in to fruition for you now, which is very, very, very exciting. Let's have a look. I feel like you'll find someone that you'll have a genuine, like something very much in common with a passion as well. Okay, let's have a look. This is more about when we talk about the fairies. It's like you might have a very strong connection to nature, that it feels like connecting to your passions and say connecting to nature might actually help you manifest things more. But it's also, the fairies to me, it's saying you have a strong bond with fairies and you live your life around helping Mother Nature. So it might be that you love outdoors, you love nature, you could be doing rituals in nature. It's just appreciating nature on some level. But it also feels like it grounds you and rejuvenates you, and it just helps you with your intuition and that, which is really exciting here, because it feels like what you do then, it just helps you stay in alignment with things when you connect to nature. It's just something that I feel like you may have a really deep connection with. Let's have a look. Okay, you're basking in the beauty within and seeing life, I think, and seeing the beauty in life in everything here. It feels like that you can, you're not always sort of focused on the things that are not working, but you can see the gifts and the beauty in things as well, which is really nice, because it actually helps you create that sort of balance within you as well. And I actually think that there's something very beautiful and creative with group number 4 that I feel like will transpire through self-expression on some level, what you're trying to do when you're following your heart here, because it does help people. It helps a lot of people. Helps them stay in alignment or brings balance to them on some level. I feel like group number 4 are very much aware of their thoughts and being mindful. And then we have power. So So we have power. So I feel like you're in your personal power here. It feels like in a really beautiful way to follow your heart in what you want to do. And it feels like there's a lot of confidence coming in here. I feel like there's so many people that come in and out of your life, group number 4. So it's very interesting to see what you would do in terms of your passions and your dreams and your goals and your desires. It just feels like group number 4 is so mindful with their thoughts and I say are being selective with who's allowed in their personal space as well. It just feels like, but also on the same token, you're coming from your heart here. When I say that, you have healthy boundaries. So, yeah, I feel like group number 4, honor and respect your deep sensitivity as it is a gift to all. So group number 4, it feels like they may be very sensitive, hence why they've been a little guarded in the past. But the more they go into their heart space, the more that they understand that when they have their strong boundaries in that in a loving way, it feels like they start to sort of make this amazing shift in their life as well. It feels like they tend to have a trust. They're trusting more, which will actually put them into a new area of their passions with their work, which can be quite successful as well. I feel like they've been very private in the past, and now they're actually in the past here, and now it's going to start to get busy, and they're starting to sort of connect more with people, and they're starting to sort of flourish more in their in their desires and goals and dreams and all that sort of thing as well. That's what I have for you, group number 4. All the best, and sending you hugs.